This videotape is a documentary about exploring witches made by 3 film students in '94. The location was Blair Woods, Maryland. Then all 3 disappeared and the videotape was found a year later. It contains a record of the horrific experiences they encountered at the time. Let's get into the thriller Blair Witch. This is the heroine Heather traveling with her best friends Josie and Mike. Once they arrived in the town of Blair, they interviewed the local residents about the legend of the witch. They say that 2 hunters went to the house where the witch appeared and never came back afterward. There was also a strange man who used to kill 7 children and made them stand face down before each time he did it because he didn't like being watched. A lot of people say that forest must be haunted. This woman named Mary had seen the witch in Blair Woods with her own eyes. According to his recollection, that time it was the witch who suddenly appeared before him, not speaking, very strange looking, covered with dark hair and wearing a woolen shawl, with her feet in a state of leaving the ground, that is, flying, just like the legendary witch. Then a few of the heroines went into the forest. They came to what the locals called Coffin Rock, the rock. He read the search report from the search and rescue team at the time, and it was recorded that they had found the bodies of the 5 men who had disappeared from this rock, one man's hands and another's feet tied together in a ring. Judging by the blood and signs of struggle, each man's insides had been brutally torn out while he was alive, and his face was carved with illegible writings. It was then that the search and rescue team went back first to report to the governor, and then when they returned, the bodies on the rock were surprisingly all gone, with only a few hours between them. These were real things that had happened. The 3 men camped and stayed in the forest with some trepidation. The first night was uneventful, referring to Josie's comment that they heard owls hooting and cackling like people in the middle of the night, and they didn't care. The next day they went deeper into the forest, and after walking for a while they found a lot of small piles of stones on the ground which looked man-made, kind of like those Indian graves, and counted a total of 7 pairs. Mike also accidentally kicked over a pair that all hurried to give a good support for fear of violating some taboo. As they got deeper and deeper into the forest, they seemed to be lost, and the map didn't work well. At this point everyone was a little anxious, had to camp first to stay. At this time, they heard strange movements around them again.
Yes, fucking listen.
It was footsteps, and the sound of rocks crashing, but they didn't dare to go out, and so they endured until dawn. But as soon as they came out of the tent, they were dumbfounded.